Marsy Barsy, how goes it? Found prismatic in the wild today. Keep it sealed and buy into brakes. Good for you. I'm going to get this in my system before it gets cold and gross. Cheers. We got triple. Oops, too late. Well, whatever. You got to do what makes you happy. Just a piece of advice, that's all. What's up, Dominic? How is the computer, my friend? Your health is staying good? That's good. That's always good. It's peace of mind. If you had, it may have been a while, but regardless, I'm happy that you're doing better. Still got to do setup, but other than that, it runs. Well, the fact that it turns on is very good. That would aim towards potentially it being, a working computer. But yeah, very important. If you want to give yourself a heart attack and you've never had a PC before, if you forgot to hit the power supply switch on the back and then try to turn it on, then it wouldn't turn on. Ladies and gentlemen, we got 3 feasts today. It's going to be a good day. I think today is the day. We have storms that are like the most intense storms I've ever seen rolling in. Started having seizures in your sleep. Did you decide what game you're going to be streaming, Dominic? And Mars Bars, that's insane. I am so sorry to hear that. So they've been messing with different medicines and different dosages to try and figure it out, or at least get to a point where you're stable, and it sounds like you're getting stable. That's good. I'm sorry to hear that, Mars Bars. Sorry, I'm juggling conversations here, but I'm good with it. I like talking to everybody. Just as long as you don't think I'm, WoW and Hearthstone? All right. Very good. Well, if you run into any issues, just let me know. But honestly, Dominic, I'd be doing you a disservice if you didn't just go through it and learn it yourself, because it's honestly the best way. Because that's how I learned. But then when something goes wrong, it's really easy to fix. So they had to do like sleep studies on you, basically. But while monitoring your brain. It's not like a sleep study where they're generally just looking at, you know, your oxygen saturation and all that. They're looking very specifically at your brain. All right, and there's the prismatic. All right, I'm going to randomize the first break. I guess I could randomize the second. I didn't finish the list for the third, but Nick will do that for me when he's done doing what he's doing. We are starting earlier, so I can get through these. And keep an eye on the website because we're going to be posting. We're going to be posting something. Shout out to Audrey for messaging me on Discord whenever the feast's filled. And I was able to post another one. I could have went more, but I decided 3 was a good number. I think 3 is all we're going to need. It's an egg. I think with the amount of prismatic we're going to be opening, I think tonight is the night. I would take a God Pack right off the bat, just one and done. Be really happy about that. I did get a demigod pack, which is the 3 full arts, but that's not a full on God pack. I also stocked my fridge because it's now getting to the point where the garage is not cold enough to keep my beverages cold. But we have technology. Cheers. Let's get some heat. Let's also get some sleeves. All right. Very good. Also, I'm hoping to meet Nick before we get hit by the storm of the century, apparently. A team up. Well, team up packs are pretty much non-existent at this point, much like a lot of other sets. Might be in your best interest to keep something like that sealed. But I guess this storm is supposed to hit my area around midnight, so hopefully I'll just be well on my way before that, which should be the case. That Pidgeot right off the bat. Northern Wisconsin is going to get very lightly affected compared to what Illinois is going to get hit by. Illinois is about to get like some very intense weather. Even if they don't like get hit by tornadoes, it's like 90-mile-per-hour winds. Well, that area will get hit somewhat, but still not as bad. But if you look at the like the National Weather Service like map for like projections of like warnings and whatnot, it's, I don't know if I've ever seen an area that large. Well, there's the radar, which is going to be live in, you know, the past a little bit. I said I would start early, especially if we filled 3. I'm a man of my word. We're going to plow through 3 feasts like it's nothing. I randomized the first 2 because those are the lists I had done. The third one I'm going to randomize before I open it, obviously. It should be pretty quick to get through these. Well, I'm in Wisconsin, but I have to meet Nick. We meet at the halfway mark, and it's in Illinois. I'm not so much worried by my house. I'm more so worried about driving in it. I'd rather not. So hopefully we can beat it out. I think it's projected for like midnight. No, it's just what I do. Ooh, that Lapras. It used to be. I'm in Wisconsin. Potentially. But yeah, it's regardless, I'll be driving. I don't know. I feel like since I started earlier, I should finish by like 9:30. I feel like that's a reasonable estimate. Oh, I mean, if it's like already like in my area, then I'm not gonna drive through. I'll just wait it because it's not gonna go the entire night. It's just a line of storms coming through. Don't worry, I'm not stupid enough to just risk my life for no reason. Even though I've had a couple close calls. Yeah, typical Midwest stuff. I took down the mangled remains of the gazebo in the back. If the storm wasn't going to do it for me. To grab a set of rabbit ears. I don't know what's with these storms happening at night though. I feel like this is like the only time it happens. I feel like very rarely we get like a crazy storm like this during the day, which makes them more dangerous. But like you don't get to enjoy them as much. At least like the, watching lightning and stuff. 130-mile-per-hour winds could probably, you could probably get some hang time when you jumped. Rather than be at night when you're not alone. I'll crack open the garage and watch. But if the lightning gets a little bit too sketchy, I had lightning strike probably like 25 feet away from me one time, and I was like, all right, going back in. That's it. I'm done. Mainly because there's if there is a tornado at night, there's no visual confirmation from a spotter. They can only see so much. Well, I was running outside from a store, I think it was Home Depot or something, to go grab the car. And right as I start running, lightning hits the light pole in the parking lot, 25 feet away from me. I stopped on a dime and walked right back inside. I was like, all right, I'm going to wait this one out. We're going to sit here for a while. Probably like one of the loudest things I've ever heard in my life. Probably got amplified because it blew up the light post. Never in my life have I ever just been like, nope. Like, that fast. I just literally, like, whatever step I was taking, I immediately took a step in the opposite direction. I was like, all right, we're done. That's an Alt Sylveon. That is very clean. They changed the background. Do people not realize? I feel like you're not the first person recently to say that. No, I guess it's not like completely obvious. You're not the first person to ask that recently, or to not realize it. The Morpeko. Let me make sure YouTube is on. Troy, everyone is in Twitch chat. So if you're talking on YouTube, YouTube is more for people to watch on replays. So come on over to Twitch. And you got the regular Pidgeot Full Art to match. You got a question for y'all? I maybe have a question for you. Or an answer for you, rather. I don't know. No? No what? Is it wrong to temporarily? Yes, it's wrong. It would be more right to permanently cut them off. And no, you're 100% in the right. At this point in my life, Mars bars, I don't tolerate it anymore. My mom is like, how can you be like so like heartless about it? Or like she's like, I don't know how you do it. I'm like, it's very easy. You have to, otherwise it's just not healthy. By the way, Goldzard. It doesn't matter if they're family or whoever. Oh, it's worth some points, dude. Don't you worry. It was my button to give points was buried in packs. You'd say depends on the problem? I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I can't really think of an acceptable time to be treated poorly. And family-friendly Mars bars. But, yeah. If a person is continuously a negative, like, thing in your life, like, it's kind of a no-brainer, in my opinion. I don't got, like, everyone's got issues, right? Everyone's got, some sort of nonsense they got to deal with. If someone is adding to it and they think that there's, like, the most important thing ever, it's tiring. I mean, here's the thing, Marsbar. It's one thing if it's like full on, just really like toxic behavior in your life, borderline abusive or is abuse. If she's making you feel bad about something or stressing you out, you got to kind of just, it is still your mom, right? So like, there's that. But in the same breath, I think healthy boundaries or like healthy relationship boundaries where people need to act accordingly is a good thing. Yeah, but like even then, real man, it's still the same issue. It's still causing just nonsense in your life that you don't need. But regardless, Mars bars, it sucks that you have to go through that because people need to be more supportive. But here's the thing, Mars bar, like you guys, it's not so much you're cutting her off. You had a fight, so to speak. Hopefully, with a little bit of distance, she can adjust how she's acting towards you, and then you guys can, be back to normal. If it's someone who's like actively just like a hand grenade waiting to go off in your life, that's when you need to just be like, bye-bye. There are a lot of 100%. I'm talking like, let's say it wasn't like an immediate family member, even if it was though, but let's say it's not. I feel like I would, it's like, I've done it before. It's a no-brainer issue for me. But to get to that point, you gotta definitely jump through some hoops to get on that list for me. I guess I've been asked before, like how do you not feel bad? It's because I look at it very objectively, where it's not my fault that this person decided to actively put themselves on my not family friendly list. They actively put themselves there. I can't do anything about it. I mean, maybe your situation is very unique. But at the same time, it's like, that's your mom. She definitely needs to be, not really putting you down. Should be more supportive. More of a vacuum cleaner, if I'm being honest. Reverum. I guess it's like an engine. In the same breath, though, real man, those changes don't have to be painful. Somebody like they should be helping you through that, not hindering you. But yeah, Marsburg. I mean, it sucks. It's just like the easiest way to put it. But you can't put up with behavior that's unacceptable. It's just what it is. But I think she'll adjust and correct herself. Oh, I'm sure. What games have I been playing? WoW Classic, Hearthstone Battlegrounds. That's about it. Unalived her favorite fish. Sorry to hear that. Who, me? I'm enjoying those games. Those games suck. Better than playing CSGO. Better than playing Sea of Thieves. Better than playing Call of Duty, because I'm not a person who uses aimware. So I would just lose. Those games suck, but like those games are not full of aimware and cheaters, which is like one of the main proponents of not sucking. Be that as it may, the bar is pretty low. You play Overwatch 2? I could say to you that sucks and be pretty right in doing so. It's down there. Kind of sucks for all of us, dude. Maybe I'm so bad at it. No, it's me hitting the rank threshold where all the cheaters are. But at this point, it's like just at every level, because it's not being regulated. Nothing's being done about it. And no problem, Mars Bars. If you got to come in here and vent about something, as long as it's, not like... I don't know. We've talked about some crazy situations on here, which I was fine with. I don't care. As long as it helps somebody. I think sometimes when you have a thought in your head, it makes it a little easier to process when you got a bunch of people, kind of giving you feedback. We'll be home soon. That's very good. My plan to just destroy 3 feasts is coming together nicely. let me tell you. What the most recent set out? Prismatic. That's what the most recent set is, which is this last stack. That's where the God packs are, my friend. Be right back, bathroom break. Sounds good. It is hard to get a hold of. By the way, that's a big trainer hit that we just pulled. Congrats on that. And another. You like the way I said that? You kind of talked like a caveman a little bit, so yes. I'm surprised I got that card trick right. Trainer just came out of nowhere. I always expect Trainer, dude. Never surprised. Well, I said I was posting 3 feasts, and those who were on top of it and not waiting on the fence got in. That's how it works. Gave plenty of opportunity, posted it everywhere. You feel better now? Very good. I think my biggest W of this year already was not pulling the trigger on the snowblower because it didn't snow again after that. Yes, yes. I appreciate all of the community as well. Conkeldurr. Because it's another level of rarity. They're A-spec trainers. They're textured. Those are the equivalent of like Ultra Prisms or what were the other ones? Like the Pokeball rarity. Last Friday before softball starts. You know why they call it softball, right? Because you're soft. That's why. Real man about to get triggered right now. As he's putting on his knee brace. I'm just kidding, real man. I hope you're having a good time with softball. Trainer very OP. Oh, you got to stretch and get ready. My buddy Eric, Kyle's older brother, recently like broke his arm or his elbow or something while sledding. And he also used to play like in an indoor soccer league, and he tore his ACL or his meniscus. Oh, don't worry, I give him enough crap about it. I laughed so hard when he told the story. He's like, "Yeah, guys, I broke my arm." I was like, "What? What were you doing?" Sledding. He tried to go down the hill standing up. It didn't work out so good. He didn't end down on the bottom of the hill standing up. He actually fell. You don't try very hard? What do you mean, dude? You gotta always give 110%. When I go work out at like 4 or 5 in the morning, I'm actually like really surprised. There's like a pretty large amount of people that play like pickup basketball. I'm assuming like before work or whatnot. But at like 4 or 5 in the morning, it's rough. It's because you didn't have the knee brace on, dude. You gotta have the knee brace. And Clyde, funny you should like mention that statistic. The most dangerous sport in the U.S. right now, based on injury, is pickleball, because the elderly just go a little too hard and they just shatter hips. But like statistically speaking, pickleball being the most dangerous sport is hilarious. Your boss broke his foot playing pickleball. Adding more, not tonight, because I have 3 feasts. But what is being added to the website will be very relevant to everybody. So keep an eye out. Pickleball to tennis is like baseball or softball is to baseball, like slow pitch. Hidden Fates is that what it is? Did they finally flip on the printer and they made more Hidden Fates? Because I was still waiting for that. I've been waiting for a lot of those sets that people have been saying that they're making more, they're reprinting. Hasn't happened yet, so if I was holding my breath, I would have died already. Base set? Okay, that's what it was. He'd be... Oh, it's next in queue? That's what it is then. Clearly, I know nothing about Pokemon cards. You're absolutely right, dude. Running literally a specifically Pokemon business for the past 8 years and collecting it for my whole life, I truly know nothing. How could I dare know more than the random Redditor who doesn't even spend money on cards? At least I admit it. I'm man enough to admit it. That's the difference, dude. Just like how you're man enough to play softball. In this economy, you gotta buy high, sell low. That's how you do it. Zemazent. That's a clean full art for steel. J-Rocks, you know what's crazy about that? It's almost as if the production, i.e. how much of a set gets printed, is directly correlated to what you just said. But people don't want me making that connection because that would be crazy. Thank you. Well, if they're a professional softball player, that's definitely not what you are. That's not what we were talking about. To make that distinction, I have the utmost respect for any actual professional player. I don't know that. You just told me that you don't try that hard. You're obviously not getting paid for it. You ain't got no scholarship, dude. Pokemon inflating the prices on their own? No, that's Pokemon. That's the people affecting the short-term values of stuff. Because when it's abundant, it's bought less, and then when it eventually is just non-existent, then it goes crazy. But we know what happens over time. What you're talking about is purely short-term. Gonna grab ibuprofen. Ibuprofen is good. You'll send me that. You're gonna send me your tape, dude? Essentially, just like from Napoleon Dynamite, like Uncle Rico, where he's got the videotape set up and he's throwing the football, but like with softball. All right. Give us the God Pack one and done here. Honestly, dude, you're not even like Uncle Rico. You're probably like more like Rex Kwon Do. You think I got where I am today? Looking like Peter Pan over here? That movie, I gotta watch again. Tylenol doesn't work on you? Isn't Tylenol just ibuprofen but branded? I went to our Halloween party dressed as Rex. That's amazing. You want to take a roundhouse kick with me wearing these bad boys? Forget about it. It's not? I'm saying like the active ingredient in it. Is it not ibuprofen? Huh. Oh, it's Advil. Advil is the same. My B. You're right. That's why you alternate. That's why you take them both at once, dude. Just become super immune to everything. Listen, Rex Kwon Do, relax, okay? I feel like when I was younger, and when a lot of people were younger, they couldn't appreciate how funny Napoleon Dynamite actually was. Like, you laughed at it as, like, a kid. I did it, too. But, like, when you become an adult, you really become to appreciate the beauty that is. Before the Crown Police show up. They don't have the jurisdiction here, dude. Tina, eat your dinner. God. Seeing that the dude who played Napoleon Dynamite not be that was the weirdest thing ever. Like now it's fine, but like when he first started doing other movies, I was like, this doesn't look right. Have you seen his look-alike? In Benchwarmer, I mean, like, honestly, in every movie that he's been in, he's been pretty solid. He's just that guy. They can, but the wrong people are making the decisions for movies. Everything's cyclical. Hopefully we make it back to good movies again. Because I can't tell you the last movie I saw in theaters. Nothing has been worth it for me to go, if I'm being honest. I watched the World of Warcraft movie today, and I always get in a depressed mood because there's never going to be another one. And it could have been so much more. I didn't even go to the theaters to see that. I did like the movie, though. I went back. My recent rewatch has been Narcos and Narcos Mexico. Which, if you haven't seen those shows, you probably should. They're, like, really, really good. And somewhat historically accurate. $1923. How is that? The one Pablo Escobar fact that I still find to this day like crazy is the fact that he offered to buy out the national debt to be allowed back in the country again. Which is like, I like sat and thought about that. I was like, that is actually nuts. Just to be allowed back into the country without, like, being arrested or being wanted. I've heard. I was hoping they were going to continue and do another season of Narcos Mexico, but I don't know if they are. Because they were just getting into, like, El Chapo and everything. One of the first dudes to, like, build a tunnel underneath the border to smuggle drugs. I didn't watch Shogun, but I heard good things about it. I wish I could talk to you about it, Mars Bars, but it's just I didn't really get into the show, and I don't wasn't for me, so to speak. But I know it's a good one. A lot of people do like it. Solid first feast, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get this packed up. We'll go over the hits and then on to the next. Got 3 of these. You gotta watch what makes you happy, you know. There's too many animes you're keeping up with? Only animes I really like watched. The one I've rewatched a bunch of times is Bleach because that was one of the like my favorites. And Full Metal Alchemist, and I finished Attack on Titan again. I don't know if I like how they ended that. I was just like, nah. Yeah. And they just had so many episodes. It's like 400 episodes, I think. Yeah, that's what J-Rox was just talking about. When I'm home from work, too tired to party, so I watch shows. If I'm like making breaks or I have to like do menial tasks, I'll put a show on in the background. If not, podcasts. Oh, not your bad. I was just saying that you were the second person to suggest that show. That Marnie is not easy to pull. The reboot. Alt Sylveon is pretty nuts. All right, let's line up the second one. When did it get dark out? Jeez. I feel like it should be like still a little bit light, but I guess it's still early in terms of the amount of days after the winter solstice. Going bowling? All right, dude. You have a good time bowling. Pretty crazy that you're still third in points. It's because you're dedicated, dude. Not even like being sarcastic. Where, ha, Audrey, you are a funny one, you know that? As if that's even a question where you are on points. You could probably set her to 0 and she would reach first again. I'm going to be honest. People better wake up, huh? Listen, dude. There's people that claim to, like, you know, want to win, and then there's winners. That's all I gotta say. Well, yeah. I wasn't saying you weren't. That's going to screw up the all-time leaderboard pretty badly. No, I'm saying that's going to screw up, like, the all-time leaderboard, which doesn't really matter if you take them away. I don't even know how many zeros that is. Might crash their website. Deserve, dude. 3, 6. All right. Did I not print the second break? I guess not. I'll spoil the surprise for everyone if it hasn't been posted already. Release breaks are going to be posted tonight, just so everyone's aware. Hold on 1 second, guys. Just gotta grab one thing. I'm still working on it. I love it. I know what. Okay. If Dylan was in Twitch, he could be raveling Audrey. Yeah. But hey, it is what it is. His kind soul, his kind heart. Oh, random Tourette's dogs. Goliath was in her spot on the couch one time, and she is so smart, it's like scary. She like fake barked like there was someone outside to get him to get up, and then she went into his spot, which was close to me. I watched it happen. I was like, there's no way you just did that on purpose. Kind of nuts. All right, we're getting into number 2 here. Keep it going. Elephant. That's good. Your cats have a big, flat food dishes that multiple eat from. One of your cats has figured out that he can use his paw and put it on the edge of the bowl and pull it closer. Dude, I'm telling you, some animals brighter than others, and that's good, real man. So G, you can have without a leash. He ain't gonna run off anywhere. He'll stay right next to you. Luna is, I do not trust her off a leash. At least yet. She will take off. If she sees a squirrel or a rabbit, it's like a missile. Crispin. Big privacy fence. There's nothing behind us. like it's just the wilderness behind us. So I think the HOA like would be against us having a fence, even though I would probably just do it anyway. He's a corgi. He can't jump very high. Luna, she is like, she's smaller than G, but she is so muscular. It's not even funny. She's just a little bowling ball. This is the closest you'll ever get. Luna's not good with unfamiliar dogs. It's something I'm hoping to do some training with. But with people, she gets so excited she can't like help herself. She gets like excited to the point where she could like just pass out. Yeah, but a deer with a small dog like that is not safe. Especially if the deers get a little defensive, it's dangerous. If he cleared a 16-foot fence, he's unstoppable. I mean, I guess. Still not, like, ideal. Luna is mainly Staffordshire, mixed with Pit, mixed with Boxer, and a bunch of other stuff. But mainly Staffordshire, and then Pit and Boxer. Just all muscle, dude. Anybody being affected by the storm yet in chat? I know it's probably more westward now. I don't know if we got people in like Wyoming or Iowa. I didn't know that Colorado got a lot of tornadoes beyond the mountains because, like, it's like a whole lot of them, but they're usually pretty weak. I learned that pretty recently. Because that's where, like, a lot of the storm systems start, is, like, right over the mountains. East of them, at least. Spadooks. skipped way too many times, and that broke the music player. All right, dude, come on. We get a lot. They also don't occur close to very populous places, which is good. I don't know what has already been confirmed or what is already happening, but I think they were supposed to start like really firing off by like 6 o'clock. More westward. In this storm that is producing thunderstorms, it's also producing a blizzard, which is north, like way north. It's kind of crazy when you think about it. The same storm. The mustard. The Honchkrow. It's been a minute since I've seen that. Dark. My boy Bob's in this break too. He's colorless. You're just waiting for your annual blizzard. I feel like we already got ours and we're right in spring now. I hope it stays warm and we don't go back to it, to the cold. Ours is February. But there is a blizzard happening. I know that with this storm. Like there's like really heavy snow more north. You too. Well, like, right beyond the mountains is where everything develops. Other factors beyond it can strengthen it or weaken it, but, like, that's where it starts. That's why, like, Colorado has, like, some of the most tornadoes, but, like, they're all pretty insignificant, usually. It's not the highest, but like I think it's up there. I think it's like top 3. I'm sad it's happening at night again because I like watching it like in the distance before it comes in. It can happen. There's always outliers in the data. I like looking at those maps because like the National Weather Service has like historical maps of where tornadoes hit and how long they went. It's always interesting to like look around where you live and see like how close or if there are any. And the reason why they like know the track is because they'll go out and actually like survey it. Deluxe bump. Midnight release breaks are up. There you go. Spots are already taken. Thank you for announcing that, Yada, because I didn't know yet. I just texted Nick and I said post them whenever you can. So those of you who are in chat, I did not post to the Discord yet. I did not post to the socials. You have first dibs. Okay, one backwards card. Just trying to trip me up. What was the recent error we had? Was it like the... I think it was just like that random mark, but it was pretty large. I think the red lights, oddly enough, make it hotter in here. I don't know if that's placebo or if that's actually a thing. I think it might be actually a thing. That's a good ChatGPT question right there. Dude, I'm telling you, I believe it's a thing. Thank you. I remember looking that up. Red and infrared lights tend to be hotter than blue and ultraviolet lights. This is because red and infrared have longer wavelengths and lower energy, causing them to produce more heat. That's a large hit. 4 colorless. Bob, my guy. Been a minute since I've seen that gold. Been a very long time. Out of brilliant. It's very interesting that they played. This is a remix of the song that just played on the playlist, and it's randomized. I'm telling you, dude, it is a thing. Different lights produce different amounts of heat. I know what you're looking for. You're saying in terms of like the actual color being warmer or cooler. I'm talking about temperature. And when it says Kelvin, it is in relation to the energy, which is heat. Oh man, that's a name. Thank you for the follow. By the way, just a reminder, we don't talk politics on this channel, but welcome. Yeah, but in order, when it changes color, it's operating at a higher temperature to produce that color. It takes more energy to make the color red as a light than it is to make the color blue. Which I wonder if that's why on the color wheel colors are warm or cool. I don't know if that's a correlation, because the color wheel was probably made before electricity was. That's a very odd correlation. I would imagine the color wheel was made well before electricity or lights. Yeah. Just assuming. That's like the Renaissance. But the fact that the lights, or before lights, the colors were referred to as warm and cool, but it's actually the same effect with the temperature, even though that's not what it's referring to. Once again, release breaks are posted. Have not posted it to Discord or any social media yet, so anybody in chat paying attention, you got first dibs. snakes need heat, and those bulbs are red, therefore, and thus red is hot. Right, but what we're saying is a red bulb hotter than a blue bulb? And it is. We should abolish red lights. I think there's like a funny story about how bulbs became more energy efficient, but it didn't lower people's power bills or electric bills because the power companies just adjusted prices accordingly to not lose money. That's so crazy, though. I was feeling a lot hotter when the background was red. But I wasn't really making the connection. The spider looks like he's wearing a diaper. The spinner rack? Kind of. Now that you mentioned that. Touch the actually lights. Cool. The yellow feels hotter. Not even kidding. No. Now it's going to be hot in here, damn it. Well, I'm sure it's not going to be immediate, so leave it for a little bit. The yellow did feel hotter, though. Warmer. Look at that, dude. Not only do we just open mountains of cards, you learn something, too. Give you some learning. A lot of break spots are flying. So if you want to be in the first stream, I would buy in now. Otherwise, it'll just be saved to YouTube. I should be making everyone else computer or phone hotter by having the red and orange light in the background. Would that correlate to a screen, though? I would imagine, right? Probably. Yeah, I got warmer. Noticeably. Yeah, but regardless if the bulbs, these are smart lights. When it's producing the color red, it's emitting more energy. It requires more energy to make the color red than the color blue. There's no dates on those bricks? Well, if there's no dates on the listing, I don't want to confuse people. There's a countdown at the top of the screen. I guess that's fine, but still I'd rather... I just texted Nick to put dates on it. And the prices of those boxes are already pretty high. The brakes are cheaper than the boxes for the time being. So definitely take advantage of that. Okay, I'm feeling that it's hotter. I know we're making a mockery of science, but it is true. That's Mythbusters. My favorite Mythbusters fact is they actually like hit someone's house with a cannonball on one of their episodes, and they like no one got hurt, thankfully, but like they legitimately like had to pay like to repair the family's house. Listen, that color configuration that I put together is really nice. Well, regardless, that was it's an interesting fact to learn. I'm sure a lot of people aren't aware of that. That the light's color affect the temperature it emits, or the amount of energy that it emits, which in turn affects the energy or the temperature. One week. The second week, I'm back Thursday, dude. Which means I'm back Wednesday in reality. Hell, Monday is just getting everything ready and organized. From today. It's 1 week and a half. Bro, the time off doesn't start until I hit another live day. Because the weekend I was going to have anyway. You count days off from days that I wasn't going to be working anyway. So that'd be Monday. If you count from Monday, it's going to be 10 days. And if you take out the weekends, which I would have anyway, it's even less. It's not, though, because I'm going to be live Thursday. Bro, I'm not going to pull up the calendar right now. You're nitpicking. But I go live Thursday. And you don't even count the second week, dude, because work to prep for everything starts Monday, even though I'm live Thursday for a release. Screwing up my sleep schedule on purpose to then wake up when release would begin. It's a lot of work. It involves me like not sleeping the entire day before and then going to sleep the morning of Thursday usually. Starting from Monday? Because it says 13 days right now. I'm live right now. It's one of the days. By the way, that Gyarados is disgusting. It's 13 days until release today, right? It says that on the website. But I'm live right now, so you can't count today. So that's already 12. I'm saying days off. Days off is significantly less than 13. In reality, it's like 6. That's not what you're talking. That's what I'm talking about. That's what you said. You're taking 2 weeks off. It ain't 2 weeks off, dude. Bro, I had 3 feasts posted, OG, but now we got release. I warned people that they sell quick. That's just dumb, Silkiest Durag. Regardless of what card trading for what set, that is taking a guarantee and trading it for a chance. That's dumb. Regardless of what the currency is. I agree with you. But regardless of what card he traded for, if you would have kept them sealed, then that's a different story. But I don't know. I'm a person who's always looking to add to my collection. Trading away cards that I have is not conducive to that goal. But regardless, even if it's me or not me, that's just a bad decision. But, like, not because... Obviously, like, the details of which card he traded and for what set are important. But fundamentally, with whatever variables may it be, whichever card he would have traded for, it's a bad decision just because of that. Dude just hung his head. He should. He's dumb. It's a dumb decision. Because here's the thing. He could have kept the Burning Zard, which he has, and bought the ETBs, and he would still have the Zard. Oh, that's just gambling. But, like, with bad odds. With, like, dumb odds. Nice, dude. How you doing, Mike? Burning Shadows. Regardless of how hard it is to pull, that card is a card to keep. You don't want to be rushing to sell that card. I'm against, like, trading away stuff from my collection. If you're trading for another card that you want in your collection, that's one thing. The only way that exchange is smart is if he kept the ETB sealed. That's the only way. In a PSA 10, it's basically non-existent. Regardless of the value now, we know what happens over time. People hate it on Evo. Like, let's be real here. Sorry for the dog barking. It would be very temporary. It's just Haley got home. At Suicune. Luna's just attacking her with love. They're a sub 1,010. Regardless of all those facts, the only way that transaction is a good one, in him trading for those like ETBs, he should have kept them sealed. Then you can make an argument that that was a smart move. Would I still do it? Probably not. But it's at least smarter than opening and getting nothing. Not that I'm against opening either, but again, in that situation, you're taking a significantly rare card for a chance. And it's like, I don't know, not a smart move. If you're going to open them, just buy them. How many ETBs did he get? 2? Yeah, even for what prismatic ETBs are going for, I would value the graded Zard more than sealed ETBs, even in that scenario. So you saw this in person? Like, this wasn't like a social media personality, was it? You just saw this in person? You watched it happen? Did you say anything? Man, you are dumb. That's what I would have said. Dude at the card shop is just Just rubbing his hands together. He's like, yes, this is what I waited for. Dude, don't do this, is what you said. Dude, please, don't do this. I mean, you're a good person for saying that. I wouldn't make that much effort. People are adults, and, you know, I'm not gonna hold people's hands to make decisions in their life. Smacking his lips. What are the what did the shop owner say? He's probably like, you got any more stuff you want to trade? Oh, man. He goes back to try and buy back the Zard, and it's like significantly higher than what he traded for. Ooh. Master Ball and a Pokeball. But I just traded it to you. Market, dude. Pays double. Probably. Honestly, he should for his stupidity. You can't be that dumb. Dude, don't do this is probably like the best reaction that you could have given that person. It's not even a sucker. Like, you're just actively being dumb. It's just... It wasn't even like he was duped. He showed up with that decision in his head. That's a different level. It's one thing if you got duped because someone's a fast talker and he's being, like, baited into it. He came to the store with that card. He was ready to be an idiot. I don't know if that's a dopamine addiction. I think that's... What's the opposite of dopamine? If there is... Just addicted to self-harm at that point. Just being, like... painfully, like, idiotic. Wanting to make the worst decision that you can. Masochism, pretty much. Going to an event tomorrow. Don't sell your cards at shows, Audrey. Because shows are parabolic in the sense... Is parabolic the right word? I think it is. It's parabolic where people are buying for the least amount of money possible, but they're selling for the most amount of money possible. Shows are not the place. Guy thought Father Brian would bless him. God was not with him that day. God didn't want him to make that decision. They take 70% and you deserve... Exactly. I have the Mario and Luigi Pikachu in my collection as well. Those are staying with me. And it's been going good, Dominic. We're just hanging out. Finishing the second feast, going into the third. Grinding for this God Pack. Giving all that I can sacrifice for this God Pack. And then hopefully meeting Nick before the storm of the century hits. But yeah, Audrey, generally speaking, shows I've never... Ooh, that's a Master Ball. Shows are where people get the short end of the stick. That's where they go. Yep. I mean, I posted them one at a time. And I said, if you guys want another one, to message me on Discord. So Audrey made sure that I knew when stuff was full. And then I posted more. And then I posted a second one. And Audrey was like, second one's gone. And I was like, it's been 10 minutes. I don't even think it's been that long. You meant more so just, so just a flex? I mean, yeah. I have all the Mario and Luigi Pikachus graded, and yeah, I'm not tempted at all to sell those. Definitely not something to aspire to be like, Rudy, but I hear what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down. To aspire to be like a fake boxer is probably like one of the worst things that you could be. You're so much more than that. Trade your moon brand for what? Doesn't leave your house. Well, my best card is probably my first edition Zard. But there's a lot in my collection. Offer 2 prismatic ETBs. Man, to actively be that stupid is impressive. It's like I'm just gonna try my best to make the wrong decision today. Because like what's your goal in reality? Like you have to try to understand that person's dumb decision. If it's his goal to get a cool, valuable card in his collection, he already has it in his hands. Why are you doing what you're doing? Like, it's just like, it's a dumb decision. If you pull a God Pack, okay, I have not stopped opening Prismatic since it came out. I have yet to see a God Pack yet. I saw a Demigod Pack. It's just dumb. But here's the thing. He could have just kept the Zard and bought the ETBs if that's the goal. That's a better decision. Might have been broke. Then keep the Zard. If he's broke, then you sell the Zard. Even then, I would be against it, but it's a better decision than trading for ETBs than opening. It's just, there's no salvaging that situation. I'm very happy that you shared that with us, Silkiest. Well done. That's one of those things that you just have to share. Oh, I had an experience not too long ago, too. Not like this, but another odd experience that I was like, I wasn't sure like what was going on. I was leaving, like, I think it was Woodman's or whatever. As I'm about to like pull forward, because I like pulled in and then made it so I was facing outwards so it could just pull right out instead of backing up, a car boxes me in. And I'm immediately like, all right, what's going on here? What's about to happen? You interrupted a story, you know that?
You need to clean it in here. This is anxiety.
What's wrong? You don't like empty packs?
No, I don't like empty boxes.
It's like New Year's.
No.
With all the mess. You like packs, G? Here you go. All right. No. Stay. I got it. Just. Thank you. Okay, there's another feast being opened. Whatever you're doing is about to be undone. I promise you.
Room
All right, so I got boxed in, and I'm thinking like, okay, something's about to go down. No fear, I'm good. Person who boxes me in. What?
Sarah's watching. What? She said go back on camera because she hasn't seen me in weeks. My fans miss me.
Okay. Anyways. Person gave me their best story to try and ask for money for gas, but boxed my car in to ask me. I literally looked her dead in the face and I was like, no. Now please move your vehicle. But to box me in so I couldn't leave to ask for it, nuts. Never had that happen before. That was definitely a first experience for me. Probably not the best way to go about doing that either. And on top of it, it's not like your car is conked out like you're out of gas. You're using your car to actively block mine, and you're driving around. Oh, I was not shaken at all. I said no with a smile. I said no. Absolutely not. Now move your car. Essentially holding me hostage. And like, I'm not against, helping those in need. This was like a very articulate form of trying to scam people. I wonder how many people she got that day. But like, I remember like in the moment I was like, okay, like I need to go, bye. But like I remember like thinking about it like a couple minutes after, I was like, man, that was another level of nonsense I just had to deal with today that I wasn't ready for. Well, I'm ready to defend myself. But like it wasn't a dangerous situation. I wasn't in danger of this person. I was pretty fine. Unless they had, a weapon or something. But I feel like at that point it's no longer asking, it's just robbing me, which is a different thing. Blister coins. The day it happened though, like I was already like having a long day, so like I was in no mood to begin with. So I probably looked like a psycho saying no. But she looked more psychotic, blocking me in. I'm thinking like this conversation's gonna be like, hey, I clipped your car or something. Or did you see a wallet on the ground? Like that's understandable. I'm trying to like think of other situations that would be acceptable to do what she did, and there's really not that many. The ask for money is nuts. Specifically for gas, as you're blocking me with your vehicle. You obviously got the gas to spare. You're doing this. Probably could have made it home by now. But yeah, that was another wild situation to add to the one we were just talking about. Different, but same. That one reminded me, though. I'm happy I remember that because that was definitely worthy of a share. I'm thinking too, like, strategically, did she scope me out before I went into the store and was like, I'm going to wait for this person to get out now? And then waited for me to about to be leaving? That's just nuts. Not like, even thinking about that even more. It's even more nuts. Or walk. I mean, hell. It's not insensitive. Specifically to that situation. We have one down here that does that and brings the kid to get the sympathy. It's really sad that, like, they're probably making good money doing that too. Taking away from people that actually need it. You go out to eat with the wife for a nice dinner, and you see the guy you gave money to at a really nice restaurant. You're like, hey, what are you doing here? Just bought him dinner. He's at, like, he's got, like, a better table, like a better seat, and, like, order the most expensive thing. It's sad, but that happens. Like really commonly. Which makes me not want to just, be generous in that way. But there's other ways to be generous, with your time. All right, final feast. Bro, I went ham tonight with these feasts. Let's go. Thank you, everyone who grabbed spots. Be sure to grab... all I could say is I see what boxes are selling for of this new set. You're getting a good deal buying into a break. Definitely take advantage of it while the prices are this way. Because we may have to adjust in the future, but obviously we're not going to do that on release. Because nothing has changed in terms of supply. Like, there's not more coming. It's still low. It's going to take probably a year for that to adjust. Josie, did you get tracking? Because I want to make sure that you're using the right email when you buy in. Because it automatically sent, and we had the receipt of it before we resent it again. I looked into it after I got off on Wednesday. And it showed sent before we resent it. I just want to make sure that you got it. Because that means that it was in your email and maybe got blocked. Because all we did was hit resend on the email that was provided to us. I just want to make sure so we don't have issues in the future. Is this thing on? Hello? You could be in an ad and I'm going to have to repeat myself again, which is fine. Clyde, you saying that made my brain shut off for 2 seconds. I was like, wait a minute, what? Okay. He could be watching me on mute. I don't know. Fire is the first hit. Okay, I have to make sure that that is, if that is the air conditioning or the heat. Hold on. It was the air. Because it was 75 degrees in the house. Because we had the red lights on. Did you see that, real man? We had the red lights in the background, and then the house temperature went up. That's science, dude. If you can't tag him, then he's not here. I just wanted to make, whenever someone, posts on Discord and then asks me in chat, I make it a point, especially if it's not an error on my part, to try and rectify it. But I'm assuming everything is all good because nothing. Better go around the house and break all the. True. Or cool the house down with blue lights. Even though that's not how it works. It's just less temperature. It's not cooling. I've been to nationals and whatnot. All red stoplight, exactly, dude. Just make them all green. Nothing could go wrong. Oh, great. My internet's dropping again. No, it's dipping right now. More people to yell at. Yay. Well, I'm just going to keep trucking through. All I can do right now. If this person in the neighborhood replugged in their thing again, I'm going to lose it. I'm going to snap. No, because we didn't get hit by the storm yet. I'm going to go figure out whose house it is, and I'm just going to yank all the wires out. Well, the reason why the internet was bad in our neighborhood for like the better part of a month was because some idiot was using a cheap router that was probably like sending all of our data to like another country. Hold on one second. More people to yell at. Great. Oh yeah, whoever... This is the same thing that happened last time. It's identical, so it's the same issue again. Promise you. It's not the storms, because the storms haven't even hit us yet. By the way, hyper butterfree. Oh, why must I yell at people all the time? It's never ending, dude. I have to yell at somebody every day. Now Twitch is stable and YouTube is still recovering. And now it's not. I'm really hoping that they just go back to the same house and they just literally just kick them off of the internet. probably my longest streak of having the stable internet again, which was like, what, 10 days? Apologies for the remainder of this break being done with horrible quality internet, but you have to yell at people, so. Like the person, if it's the same person who replugged in their bad router again, that person is so dumb that like it's negatively affecting the world around him, the entire neighborhood. Well, I have one of the supervisor's numbers that they gave me, which probably was a mistake on their part. But I texted them, hey, I think the person replugged in whatever bad router they had before, because now it's reverted back to where I was. I get pointing it out, Chucky, and you probably, don't mean it in a negative way, but it is, I feel like, I don't know, in poor taste. And it's probably highlighted even more because I'm in a bad mood with this internet. I forgot that this Kingler was in here. That's a Brilliant? If someone wants to buy spots in a break, that's what it is. It's good. You want tea? Of course, it has to happen on the last feast, where I'm just trying to push through to beat out this storm tonight. And here we are. A person has to plug in this crappy router and ruin the internet for everybody again. Because they gave that person a new router that they were supposed to use, and then the person decided again, hey, we're going to plug in this crap one and break the internet again. Oh man. Part of me hopes that that's the issue, but part of me also doesn't hope that it's the issue, because that means it's going to be a reoccurring thing until they just ban them from the internet. Right, but I'm saying to point it out is in a way rude, like the way that it's pointed out. It's hilarious that the stream went back to stable for a second, and then just to tease me, it just didn't stay there. Just to piss me off. Again, sorry for the low quality. As you guys can see, it was fine until whoever did this decided to be stupid again. Man, it's such a good day to just end on this note. It aggravates me. Someone's gonna get yelled at very badly for ruining tonight for me. And for all of you. I'm not even going to try to fix it because I already know what the issue is. And I can't fix it. whoever's house it is, they just need to be like, all right, you can't use us anymore for internet because you are literally destroying it. I'm just going to keep on trucking through because I'm not going to stop. Oh, I'm going to figure out whose house it is too. That's for sure. I'll personally uninstall the internet by ripping out the wires from their house. Because like this is just, I'm not going to put up with it. Then they can call because I'm the one who calls every time. And they can figure it out. It's just the fact that I have to call because of someone else's stupidity, it drives me up a wall. I'm holding back a lot of rage right now. I apologize, but it's just unacceptable. Not yet. Hopefully soon, though, so I can dump this garbage company. We had a speech teacher in high school that was making it a point to like always read all the instructions before you start on a test or whatever. Anyone who started writing or answering the questions on the first page, he went up and wrote a 0 that they failed. On the last page, it says, skip all the questions and flip your test face down. Anyone who did that got 100%. If you didn't, you failed. And I think like it said, be discreet about it. Don't make it obvious if you read it. And I was like, I like this. And it legit, like, people got 0s on that test. It hurt their grade big time. I can just see that it's burned into my head. Just seeing this self-proclaimed expert plugging this router in saying they don't know better than I do. I wasn't breaking the neighborhood's internet. Oh my, I could just, I'm not going to say what I'm going to say, but very passionate about that. Self-proclaimed tech guru just destroying the internet for the entire neighborhood. Criminal, you know who the worst people were? Were teachers that had multiple choice, but made it more than 4 potential answers. They made it like 5 or 6, thinking that they're like doing something innovative, but they weren't. They were actually confusing people more. It's like both A and C are correct. Neither are correct. And it's like, okay, now I'm looking for a little fine detail that's probably incorrect in this question. It's honestly hilarious that I'm dealing with this again because of some idiot. I really... The things I would... Well, I appreciate you too. What's hilarious is I'm only at 9% frames dropped, but I guess they just started now and it's counting for the entire stream, so it's probably a lot more. And just unrelenting, just staying slow. Not even like a little dip where it goes faster again. This is the same issue that is happening again, 100%. This is not a new issue. It's not even like a little bit different. It's exactly what was happening before. So my mind is going to it's the same issue. I'm friendly with a couple of these people at this company. I'm gonna be sure to figure out who it is, because when it happens again, I'm driving to their house and ripping the wires from their house from the outside. No personal confrontation, but I'm relinquishing your right to negatively affect my internet.